Jennifer from Belladonna's Botanicals, and what the hell do I want to talk about now? Um, so I'm going to talk about something, and this is going to be more of like an occult community issue that I try to sort of impart wisdom based on experience, whether it be my own or things that I've kind of bared witness to. So one of the things that you'll see, there's a lot of different sort of groups, or I mean, sometimes they're covens, sometimes there's black lodges or whatever, and different orders and different clusters of groups around a particular a particular cult of personality, let's put it that way, whether it be an author, whether it be a content creator, or ritualist, that sort of thing. The thing I want to talk about is because I've fallen into this, and like I started, as I kind of pulled myself away from some things, I was like, hey, that's kind of messed up. And one of the red flags when you're looking at any occult community, because I know when I talk to people, there's a lot of seekers and a lot of people who are new. And one of the red flags that I want to draw attention to is if that group or community is maybe not being like, oh, go curse this person on our behalf. But if you feel like you have to when it has nothing to do with you, if you're cursing their enemies, whether it be to gain, street cred with them or whatnot, I can guarantee you they're not going to do the same thing for you. And you're going to get hit with things thrown at those people because you're connected to them. I've had that happen before. I know I'll just be honest about it. Like when I was involved with, I think it was like a year and a half ago, sometime like late 2021, I got hit with something. Like I had a mutual friend or a colleague or whatever do some energy work, and at the time when I was affiliated with Become a Living God, she went in and kind of looked, and she's like, yeah, I think it was just like, just a sort of like cluster bomb curse that went, at anyone and, affiliated with that particular group at that time. So that's something to think about. Like if you are cursing on behalf of a group, which I wasn't at the time, I was just, I think I was anyways. I was just involved at that point, and very marginally at best by that point in time. That if you're doing something on behalf of another person and someone is doing defensive against them, you're going to get some blowback and backlash from that, magically speaking. Now, the effect of it might not be super intense, but is it worth taking a magical bullet for? No, because I can guarantee you 100% none of those people are going to take a magical bullet for you. There's very few ride or die people who are like that. Very few. So it's a red flag when you're involved with a group and, they've got their enemy list of people you either can't be friends with or are their mortal enemies and stuff. And it's like, they're not saying, oh, I want you to go curse these people, but, it's kind of a subtle manipulation sometimes where you feel like, well, if I'm part of this and I protect, like it feeds on your human nature and instinct. Like I'm a very protective person, so I want to protect my friends from harm. So of course I would jump to someone's aid if I know they're being cursed by someone. Of course I would want to help them, or even if it's just doing the removal or energy work or things like that. So I'm just trying to draw attention to like some red flags to look out for, and that's one when you're involved with a group. Like, and also if like that group is just doing nothing but cursing like people over like petty bullshit. It's one of those picking and choosing your battles, and I'm sorry, but like if you do nothing but curse people all the time, and that's like the majority of what you do, it's literally like masturbating 30 times a day. Congratulations, you did it 30 times a day. Probably was shooting blanks in a one pump chump by the end of it. So, I mean, was it really all that effective? Really? Really? Dramatic hair flip? Really? So that's something to consider. Like, I know there's a lot of people who are very curse happy, especially on the left hand path and in black magic, especially. It's a little lesser in other areas, I've noticed. Like, I would say probably one of the most popular products I sell is my return to sender oil. So people kind of do their defensive stuff and not necessarily death cursing someone for stealing their parking spot, but you know, if they're just sending that energy back, and that's a lot of what's going to happen when you're doing work against the magical practitioners. You're just gonna, you know, they've got their protections, their spirits, their guardians, and all the return to sender, you know, stuff in place, and you're just gonna get that bounce back bullshit. So that's just something to look out for, because I think I wish someone had kind of like been like, psst, when I kind of got in, when I started getting more involved with like the left hand path community. Because oh boy, howdy, is there a fuck ton of drama here? I mean, it's like that in every community, but I think it's a little more pronounced sometimes here. I mean, it's most people aren't really worth cursing. I mean, to be honest, at this point, I'm just kind of like, even people who I'm like, you know, GDIAF, I really can't be bothered to curse them. I mean, it's just like, you just kind of look at sometimes people's lives. I'm like, yeah, I think you're cursing yourself. So why should I exert any effort here? You're just going. I'm watching you live stream go down and go down in flames. But and again, that's something else to look out for. Now, I have to spend an inordinate amount of time, especially as a business owner, dispelling a lot of the common myths and misconceptions about black magic and the left hand path and demonolatry and working with dark goddesses and dark energy. And I'm constantly and I'm like, it's not really, you know, it's a, you know, balance, blah blah blah. And then I look at these asshats who are like, in every single way, perpetuating every negative stereotype that you can imagine when you think about Satanism or Luciferianism or black magic or you know, dark magic and demonolatry and stuff like that. It's like they're perpetuating that, and especially in the era of the nouveau satanic panic. Y'all ain't too bright. Yeah, seriously. I don't know. As you know, I'm very so what I'm looking for, emphatic, dramatic about how I feel about these things, because I'm trying to just, you know, get people to not look down their nose. Because I've had people be like, oh, well, I'm not buying from you. You do dark magic. I'm like, I'm also a Reiki master and I do crystal healing and a whole bunch of other stuff that really has nothing to do with that. But, you know, no, unless it says something particularly on it, like Satan's butt crack oil, you know, you're fine. And really, energy is energy. You know, but people kind of get in that of, oh, I'm a light worker. I only work with light magic and stuff, which is problematic in its own way. I'm just trying to teach people balance. And that, you know, you can be into Satanism and Luciferianism and demonolatry and all this ooky spooky, bad stuff, you know, naughty, bad, evil, you know, stuff if you put it into those dichotomies. But I'm always trying to dispel that I'm like, I'm actually a pretty decent human being, you know. I'm and you run into all types. Like there was someone, I think it was someone that maybe my ex-husband was friends with. I didn't know them that well, but I would think I was Facebook friends with them. And like out of nowhere, suddenly, they were like, I guess I posted something about witchcraft or whatever. I think the person had some severe mental incapacities and illnesses, but they were suddenly like, how dare you, you're gonna, what type of person are you? You're gonna kill my infant nieces and nephews and stuff like that. I'm like, when did I ever say that? And I have, at the time, I'm like, I have, nieces and nephews who are, toddlers or children at that time. Like, what did I ever say that gave you an indication that I'm going to sacrifice babies? Because no, not. Not into that. Not even a little. So people have those misconceptions and they will come at you about them. And we live in a world, and I'm older, so like I'm like, I know that there is a percentage of the population that is never going to like me, accept me, or the fact that I exist is an anathema to their existence. Like, and of that poor portion, there's probably some that would like to see me burn at the stake. I don't really care if people don't like me, but I also want to, put forth that, hey, I'm not a bad person. I'm not evil. I'm not, trying to destroy the world or, get the, 1,000th chicken head lopped off card punch so I can get some free chicken at the store card, and, advocating for, criminal behavior and all of that. So I'll get off my soapbox, but what the hell was I talking about? Oh yes, curses on other people's behalf. I got off on a tangent here, but so something I'm passionate about. I really do want people to be aware of the red flags, because I do love the occult community, but there are some real fucking toxic shitty people out there. So ask questions, believe me. And trust your intuition, because you know what? Just about every single person that I had that little intuition that sort of got the icky vibes from, but I was like, no, you're just being judgmental, blah, blah, blah. Give them a chance. Yeah, either every single one turned out to be a garbage human or stab me in the back. So trust your intuition. It's there. You just need to listen to it. And I need to take my own damn advice on that sometimes, because I am not so great with that, actually. Anyways, I've been on my soapbox for far too long here, but I just wanted to bring this to you. I love you all. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, smash the notification button. And we will be, at least at the time of recording this, I'm still doing the live streams on Saturday nights. So the Occult Insomniac live stream, because that's what I am. Anywho, love y'all.